Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Goblin Paranormal. Before we start this interview, I want to give you a brief background on the Perron family. The Perrons consisted of mother and father, Carolyn and Roger, and their 5 children, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. The mother fell in love with an estate that went up for sale, the Arnold estate, or the Conjuring house, as many of you would know it. The parents moved in on a winter day, and the former owner was there, Mr. Kenyon. 4 out of the 5 girls noticed a man standing in the corner in weird clothes. He just looked out of place. And they went up to their mother and said, "Who's that man with Mr. Kenyon?" She was busy unpacking. She said, "Just get me another box. No one's here with Mr. Kenyon." But they saw this man. And this was the first sighting of the paranormal with the Perrons. Now for the interview. Everybody, this is Goblin Paranormal here. We got a special guest here today. Someone that was associated with the Conjuring house. I'm sure you've heard the story, you've seen the movie. We have Ed here. Thanks for coming, Ed.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about Burillville and kind of where you came from?
I grew up in Burillville. I did meet the Perron family when I was in high school. We all get along. Kids doing what kids do.
Right.
So, like I said, I knew them. I've been to the house. Feel free to ask any question you would like to ask.
Yeah, so if anyone that's watching this on Facebook Live, if you have any questions for Ed, you said you were there for 2 days, pretty much?
I've been to the house on 2 occasions.
Okay.
One day and the following day.
Okay, and you were partying around there, right?
Yes, we were partying. I met the Perron family when I was in high school, Burillville High School. And, we all get together like kids do at that age.
How old were you?
I was about 16 years old.
16, okay.
And they had a party one night at their house, and I asked one of the Perron girls out for a couple of times. I'm sorry, it's been 50 years. I do not remember their names.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is what, in the 70s, right?
This is in the 70s, in the early 70s.
No, did the movie come out in this? I know it didn't come out in the 70s, but was it taking place in the 70s? Is that?
Well, this is the time frame that I was there through I'm going to say 73, 74, 75. In that time frame, I don't really remember when it was.
Yeah.
But I was 16 years old at the time. There were some other friends of ours also. I'll say A, B, and C, because I'm not going to make.
We're not leaking names today, no.
And we hung out as a group. There was four of us that was a group, and I did associate with one of the Perron girls. I can't remember her name. We went out a few times, and then they had a party.
Were you guys dating?
Well, dating, hanging out and dating in that time frame.
You were seeing each other. You were interested. Yeah.
Is different from what it is today.
Today. Oh,
today,
we're crazy
dating
today.
is a date.
Yeah.
Back then, you hung out.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
You don't remember her name though.
I do not. It's been a long time, and
yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah. No big deal.
We went to the party at the Perrons' house, and of course, we're drinking beers and everything, and then there was a bathroom issue, and I stress this because this was the most incredible, blow my mind issue. Someone went to the bathroom, and one of the Perron girls said, "Don't use that bathroom on this floor because they don't like it."
Who doesn't like it?
They don't like it.
They.
That's all
We'll leave it at
said.
that, okay.
They don't like it. So no one went in there. Now, we go in, short time after, the toilet was busted off the floor, the sink was down, and the shower was running. It was like, holy shit. So me and my friend, I called him D, we shut all the water off the house. And the bathroom was trashed. and no one had been in there.
What
So,
floor was this on again?
At the first floor,
Okay.
walk in the door, the kitchen's here, the living room's there, the bathroom is there. Right there.
And this is inside the Conjuring
Inside
house.
the house.
Okay.
The first floor, inside that house.
Okay.
And it's my first time at the house.
First
Although,
time, okay.
First time at the house. And it was trashed. And I was like, holy shit. And I feel bad. My friend, D, worked for a plumbing company who handles this. You know, fixes and things
Right.
like that. And he's like, holy shit, I've never seen this. So we shut everything off. We went back out into the other rooms. And of course, we're kids, we're teenagers. You know, we're drinking beers, we're doing this, with the music and playing like this. And we go back, someone goes back to the bathroom and the toilet is now working. Why?
When you say it's not trash, though, what do you mean by that?
Oh no, the toilet was off the floor.
That's what you mean by trash?
Trash.
Okay.
The sink was off the wall. It was on the floor.
Really?
Okay. And the water was running. You know, from the thing. So we shut those off. And we went back out and we partied a little bit. Now the girls were very upset and scared because the parents are going to come home in the morning from their weekend away or whatever. So myself and my friend D, and I'll call the other guy Jay, the three of us, we said, well, listen, it's late at night. We'll come back in the morning and we'll fix everything. So the party ends, and I'm creeped out. All I want to do is get out of that house.
You felt there was something wrong
There was
going
something
on?
wrong.
Okay.
I could feel it. And so we left. And we came back the next morning early, and we fixed everything. And then we fixed everything, and we put the toilet back and the sink, and we fixed everything. We came back out, and now the girls are making us breakfast.
This is the next morning?
The next morning,
Okay.
after the party. They're
Okay.
making us breakfast. So while we're making breakfast, we said, let's go check to see if everything is, you know, to make sure nothing's leaking
Right,
or anything,
right.
right? We
Yeah.
go in there, and the toilet is on the floor, and the sink is
Wow.
on the floor.
Nuh-uh.
I ain't bullshitting. I'm telling the friggin' truth. They're on the floor. We had just finished doing it.
And then you bolted these things in. I mean, they're secured to
Yes.
the floor.
Yes. When you put it in a toilet, there's
Yeah.
2 bolts on each side. When you put it in a sink, there's 2 bolts on each side there. They were stripped off and on the floor.
Wow.
So, this is in the morning, the day after the party. You know, we haven't had any beers.
Right.
Keep in mind, we're 16, 17-year-old kids,
Right.
and we're like freaked. But every single time, the 2 times I went in the house, I was like this, like your 11s were up.
Yeah.
You know what 11s are?
Your hair on the back of your
Yeah.
neck, yeah.
The 11s are up. So it's like, holy shit. So we put everything back together, fixed everything, out the door. And I have never been back, and I never talked to her after that. We kind of like, because it was just too scary for me.
Yeah. So, other than the bathroom, did you experience any other...
Well, during the party, like you got a group of kids, you
Right.
know, there were lights going on and noise, but this is all well before any of this haunting documentary or any of this happened. This is all before all of this.
Oh, so the girls weren't complaining that the house was
no,
brutally haunted
but they
yet.
knew something wasn't. It wasn't like I said, I've never seen the movie.
The movie exaggerates it, I'm sure.
I've never seen any of that, and I don't watch anything like that because I don't watch any horror type movies or
Yeah.
anything because I don't really believe. I think it's all
Overdone.
exaggerated or overdone and things like this. But I'm just
Yeah.
telling you my experiences and how I felt there.
Okay.
You know, I felt there was something.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's pretty much what I can say about that.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing else to say about it.
That's
other than
fine.
the bathroom
That's
incident.
It's fine.
So, if you have any questions,
Yeah.
ask. I have another background with other that I felt hauntings, but feel free to ask.
Yeah,
any
if you
questions.
guys have any questions for Ed about the Conjuring house, what it looked like inside, I don't know if you can remember that, but you don't remember who you dated, though. People might be asking who you dated.
The names, I'm sorry, I don't remember. It was almost 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people that I've dated, and names, and they come together sometimes. I just can't get it. But anything that makes an impact on you, like a haunting, or they say haunting, or an impact that actually feels to your inside, you remember those things.
It's like an imprint.
Right, imprint.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
It imprints it, and then you can remember those things. Maybe not every single detail, but a group of details that you can remember.
Right. So the girls never mentioned to any of you guys that the house, there's something wrong here. I mean, they said to you that don't go in that bathroom for a reason. That's probably happened before, I'm assuming.
Right. I don't know, but they did say don't use that bathroom.
And they said because they don't like it. Okay. Are you aware that you can go in this house now as like a museum?
I am not, and I will not.
You will not stay there?
I will not go there. I will not.
What? Did it freak you out that much, or is it? You just don't want to go back?
No. I will not go back.
Interesting. Well, Goblin Paranormal, we were thinking about staying there overnight. We may do that in the near future.
Don't.
But you don't?
Don't.
No. So, the big thing about that place is that it's not haunted by a spirit, it's haunted by
a poltergeist.
A demon or a poltergeist. Do you feel that's what it is?
It's not haunted by a ghost or a spirit. It's haunted by a poltergeist. People think I'm freaking insane, but there's a major difference.
There is, yeah. So, a poltergeist is something that takes control of energy, usually from electricity in the house, and they start to manipulate things that way. A ghost is just what? A spirit that is left
that's
behind.
just a benevolent spirit that just happens to be here.
Yep.
And that. A poltergeist.
Yeah, they're not fun to deal with. I mean, apparently you can see in this man's face, he will not go back to this house. And that was when? You were 16 years old.
I was 16 years old.
And he will not go back.
I'm almost 62.
Can you give us a reason? Can you give the audience a reason why you will not go back? One word?
Because of my soul.
Interesting.
Because of the feelings that I felt while I was there. Tingling, the feeling of a presence. And not a good presence? No. I would not go
evil
back.
then.
Evil.
Absolute evil.
It was an evil presence that I could feel.
Now, what do you guys think that are watching this? I mean, do you think it could be a poltergeist? Do you think it's a poltergeist?
I think it's a poltergeist versus a haunting or a spirit or a free spirit that's benevolent. This was a poltergeist.
Or about demon?
Demons, I believe demons are real. I believe they're here for a reason. I believe angels are here for a reason.
Right.
And your interaction with the demons are scary.
Absolutely. Do you think that demons are... Do you think they're trying to sabotage what the angels are doing? Do you think they affect... Okay, so say someone goes and kills somebody. Do you think that's an act of a demon on a person's will? Are you go as far as that or no?
No, I believe that's free will for a person to do something like that.
Yeah.
If it's a person that the angels are looking after, it would not happen. It's hard to explain because I believe in God and the angels, that there's a higher power. I also believe if you have good and bad, you can't have just a higher power in God without the other side of it.
Absolutely. So you need both sides of the coin.
You need both sides to balance.
Absolutely.
So, do the demons come? Demons, not so sure on, but I do believe there's an evil presence and a good presence.
Okay. So you felt evil at the Conjuring house.
I felt evil at that house. I felt the opposite, the good at my house.
So let's dive into that because Ed has lived in Burillville for how many years now? I mean, you don't live there now, but...
I don't live there now, but I lived in Burillville for 30 years. I lived in a house that was a very old mansion built in 1793. And there was a presence. There was a presence in that house.
Okay. And you said that was a good feeling.
It was a good feeling. It was a feeling. It was scary at first, but over the years living there, it was a benevolent feeling.
Right.
I mean, did stuff happen? I almost said shit, but you probably can't do that. But stuff did happen. You know, like losing your car keys or putting something down and it was gone and coming back 3 minutes later and it's there. But it wasn't a bad feeling. It wasn't an evil feeling. But other places I've been, you could feel the difference.
Okay.
Like a benevolence, relaxing feeling, or a
Uptight.
scary, tight feeling.
Right.
Between the two. So do I believe it's there? Good and is bad? Absolutely.
Okay. Now that house that you lived in Burillville, how was that laid out? Like, how many floors? What was the layout of this place?
It was a 3-floor house. It was one of the Burillville mansions. It had been broken up before my parents bought it into multiple apartments, which would be 5. It would be right, left, and then top. Now, I lived upper left. My brother and sister lived upper right, and then my other sister and brother lived there and there. But the 3rd floor of the top of the house, nobody lived in there. Because every time you walked in there, you could feel, I could feel, like the hair on your neck, something wasn't right. So, one time many years ago, I was probably 13, 14 years old. My brother was 2 years older than me. He was going to move to the 3rd floor because he wanted his own privacy. He was up there 3 days.
3 days.
And then moved back down and says, I don't want to be there anymore.
Did you ask him what happened?
Yeah, he said, well, why? I didn't feel comfortable. It's the house. And he moved back down to the 2nd floor, and nobody's ever used that space since.
You never went up to the 3rd floor to see what it was like, no?
No, I mean, we have, but it's still there today. The same thing. My brother still owns the house, and nobody goes upstairs. You just don't. So, what I was going to tell you earlier before the cameras put on,
Yeah.
is I was probably 14 or 15 years old. I had this apartment on the side. Like I said before, it was a bedroom, a kitchen, living room, bathroom. And this might be something you can't put. But I was about to have my first, at 14, experience with a woman.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to go further than
That's
that.
fine. We know what you're talking about.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we're getting ready. And boom, 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 up the stairs.
Oh,
to my
no.
house. Now,
Wait, you were in the bathroom with this girl?
No, we were in my bedroom.
Okay.
I had an apartment. I had a 3-bedroom apartment. I had it was like an apartment.
Yeah.
So the door was locked and everything. I hear boom, 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 up the stairs. And I'm thinking it's my father
Oh, no.
or my brother or somebody's coming up the stairs. So it's like, it was my first time.
Yeah.
It's like, ah. So, boom, boom, boom on the door. Jump up, open the door. There's nobody there.
Oh, that sucks.
There's
That
nobody
sucks,
there. This is where I was headed. There's nobody there. Look down the stairs. Nobody. Look up the stairs. Nobody. It's like
And this was in the same mansion house?
in this house.
Wow.
So, close the door, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about, right? So she's like, what the hell was that? Because she heard it too. And it was like, we get dressed. So this, we're sitting in the living room, TV on. Boom, 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 up the stairs.
Like footsteps you're talking about? Like heavy...
Going up the stairs, a pair of stairs.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It's like, it's got to be my brother's room with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Here it gets to the top of the stairs, I whip open the door because I'm ready to confront him.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Wow.
I'm like, now everything's like chilly willies. So I closed the door. We finished getting dressed and everything. I'll bring you home, and we left. Come back, get home. My brother's just pulling in. So now I'm ready to fight with him. I said, why you?
What are you doing? What are you trying to? Yeah.
I'm at home all night.
Oh no.
I was like, okay. that's just one experience. There's been many others with the noises in the house and the door slamming and stuff like that. But that's one that I remember because it was going to be my first time.
Right. Who forgets that?
Right. You can't forget that. And that was like, holy shit. And to this day now, 60 years later, nobody goes upstairs.
No kidding. Even on the second floor.
The second floor they do. The
third floor.
Nobody goes upstairs.
Okay. Now,
Ever.
give me. So you've experienced a lot of paranormal activity. Can you give me a time where you thought you saw something or something happened that you were scared to death?
Yes.
Seeing something, you know what I'm saying?
I will. This is going to sound very, very silly to you people, to you. It's going to sound silly. My older sister was an artist. Now, do you remember the card you'd buy at the store with the little devil on the back of it?
No.
No?
No.
Do you guys remember that? It was a card company, and they always finished it with this little devil on the back. I don't remember the name of the card company. Anyway, my sister painted that on the wall. In the
So the
apartment.
devil, she drew the devil on the wall?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, but it was like a comical. It was from a card company. I don't remember what it was, but it was many, many years ago.
Yeah.
It was a cartoon. She drew it on the wall. Okay, so she had that, and that was her room. And then we switched rooms around, and that was my room. Now, I don't know if it was the LSD or not, but no, I'm joking. But one night, I'm sleeping. That's when I came back from the religious retreat that I told you about earlier in New York. So I'm laying in bed, and I'm sleeping, and this little devil comes off the wall.
Comes off the wall.
Comes off the wall.
What?
And he's gonna come and talk to me. And it's like, you'd have to know me. He's like, who the you would have talked to me? You know, this little devil was talking to me, saying all this shit.
So it comes on your
I was
shoulder,
asleep.
like
I was
okay,
asleep.
okay, yeah.
You know, it was a dream.
Yeah.
But he came to me, and it was like, and he really pissed me off. And because me being me is like, who are you to talk to me?
Right.
And we went on and on. And the next morning I woke up, and I painted it over. But was that a dream, or was someone talking to me?
Right.
I do not know.
But that was the scariest moment.
That was my scariest moment in my entire life.
Really? Because it felt so real.
Because it was real.
You think it was real for sure?
No, I felt it was real.
Okay.
And that scared the living shit out of me, and I have not had an experience that could scare me since then, and that may be why.
Yeah.
There's nothing was scarier than that. The devil looking at you, square in the eye, and say, "Hey, you come over me."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
You're going to hell with me.
It was a dream.
Okay. Wow.
But I'm just trying to tell you.
Right. Things just. Yeah.
But
so,
in my house, there were noises, there were people, there were talking, you heard that shit.
Yeah.
Guys, I might be crazy, but.
He's real.
I'm real.
Goblin Paranormal, we're trying to get real things. That's our biggest thing is we don't want to tell fake stories for views. That's part of our description. It's the truth. That's why we have people like Ed on here. We may be crazy, but we tell it how it is. So, now we were talking earlier about your near to death experience.
I will be happy. I will talk about that. Not happy about talking about it, I will talk about it.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old. I was with a group of friends, and we were at a party's house, of course, in those days. Now you're talking back in the 70s. We got ourselves a case of beer. We got a little bit of pot, and we drank beers and we smoked pot. And there was a car sitting there that had keys in it, so we stole it. What wouldn't 14, 15-year-old kids do, right? So we stole the car.
Cool.
And it was a Plymouth Fury. I remember the car. It was the police type cars. And we took off down the road. And we had an accident. I died.
You literally just, okay.
So Leo and I we crashed. Leo didn't get hurt that bad. He only got cut from his head to his ass. And he was able to crawl out. I wasn't so lucky. So I got banged up pretty good. The police came, they pulled me out. They bring him to the hospital. And then the priest comes in and does yambi, 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 whatever they say. They told my parents, say your last goodbyes, he's not going to make it. And I went to sleep. But then, I'm not going to go further than that.
Okay. So,
I woke up a little while later. And I survived, obviously. And that's all I guess.
yeah, no problem. So, wow, what an experience that was for Ed. Tell us, do we have any questions to ask Ed about his experiences with the paranormal? Is there anything, Vicky? Do we have anything?
Just people watching, but
Okay.
what?
Oh, what's this?
Is that yours? I don't see anything. Is it on there?
Do you think the poltergeist would remember you from the 70s?
That's a good question. Do you think the
That-
poltergeist from the Conjuring house would remember you if you went back?
I don't know. They might.
Yeah.
I don't remember them, but they might remember me.
Yeah. That's a good
They
question.
better have bourbon and cigars.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what else can we talk about? So you've been through it all, Ed. You really have, as far as near-to-death life experiences and paranormal happenings throughout your whole life. You're a firm believer in God.
100%. I believe in God is my higher power.
You use that strength on a daily basis, I'm sure.
Yes, I do.
Now, you were talking about going into, you've been through some, jobs in some historical spots throughout Rhode Island. You had experiences with things happening.
There
jobs.
is. I will tell a story. I will keep it generic
Sure.
because I have to.
Right.
But there is a building in Providence that we have, that I've worked in, and we needed an electrician to come in to put a wire from point A to point B, but it's a crawl space. So I've called an electrician company, local, to come in, and the guys went in there, they opened the door, they went in 2 feet, got scared, and said, we can't do this, and left. I said, why, what's up? I said, tingly, I can't do it. Called the second company, it was the same thing. The third time, my son is a licensed electrician in Rhode Island, Massachusetts. So I said, do you want to make a few bucks? Come with me. He put the wire in, but the second he walked in, he's like, Dad,
I'm not.
oh, what the fuck is this? I said, I'm working with you. We'll both do it.
Right.
So I went with him to do the job, and he did it, and we brought it back out. But the whole time we were there, here was like this, the here was like this, because you could feel the presence.
Yeah.
But it was benevolent.
Benevolent meaning.
Not
Okay.
scary.
Okay.
Not afraid.
Okay.
It was a presence you could feel, but not an afraid presence.
But just
but a
something you could
presence.
feel.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So, there it is. Ed from Burillville.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
for having me here.
Yes.
I hope we didn't scare anybody.
No.
Or,
This was a touching event for us. This is our first interview, and I'd like to do many more. What do you want to say to the audience before we go about the paranormal and just about, what's your message today? You want to give them?
My message is, take it for what it's worth. I told my story. You all have stories also. Believe it or don't believe it, it's your choice. But feel it or don't feel it.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for watching Goblin Paranormal. Like and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. So, as always, this is the place the truth is laid to rest. Thanks for watching Goblin Paranormal, and thanks to Ed and the crew for making this happen. We'll see you later.